The film kicks off with Marcks, a computer engineer who's in Thailand for work. His project is done, and he's getting ready to head back home to the United States. But before leaving, the hotel reception hands him a mysterious package. No name, no return address. Inside, Marcks finds an incredibly advanced phone. Remember, this is 2009, when smartphones were just starting to take off. But this device? It's way beyond anything on the market. As Marcks prepares to leave, the phone suddenly buzzes with a message. The hotel will offer a 50% discount for the next 2 days. Curious, he calls the front desk. Turns out, it's true. So he cancels his flight and decides to stay a bit longer. The next day, while watching the news, Marcks learns that the very flight he was supposed to be on crashed. No survivors. That's when it hits him. The phone just saved his life. Soon, another message pops up. Make money. Buy shares of Scissor. Marcks ignores it at first, but later finds out Scissor's stock skyrocketed. If he had invested, he would have made a fortune. Then, another message arrives, telling him to go to a hotel casino in Prague. By now, Marcks realizes this phone is no ordinary gadget. It's guiding him toward opportunities. At the casino, he tries to track down who sent the mysterious package, but comes up empty. Just then, another text directs him to slot machine number 13. He buys in, starts playing, and hits the jackpot, winning 100,000 euros. From the security room, a man named John, head of casino security, watches everything on camera and orders his team to keep an eye on Marcks. The phone sends Marcks yet another message. Head to table number 6. He follows the tip and wins big again. John notices Marcks always checks his phone before placing bets and warns him that using a phone while playing is strictly forbidden. Leaving the casino, Marcks contacts Yuri, a Prague taxi driver with a knack for gadgets. Marcks asks him for a device that will let him hear messages without looking at his phone. Yuri says it'll take some time. Back at the hotel, Marcks witnesses a couple arguing, Kamila and her aggressive boyfriend. Marcks tries to intervene, but gets punched and knocked out. While he's unconscious, Kamila and her boyfriend scan Marks's SIM card, then the boyfriend leaves. When Marcks wakes up, Kamila is still there. He's immediately drawn to her and asks her out for a drink. She agrees, but not tonight. Later, Marcks meets Yuri again, who gives him a wireless earpiece that converts texts into voice messages. Armed with this new gadget, Marcks heads back to the casino. This time, he places a massive bet based on the phone's instructions and wins a staggering 3 million euros. The crowd cheers, but his victory doesn't go unnoticed. John and his security team move in to search him. Marcks bolts for the exit, only to be tackled outside by an FBI agent named Dave, who slaps handcuffs on him. John arrives, claiming Marcks is his guy, since the two know each other from John's former days at the FBI. But Dave insists, no, I need him, and with that, he takes Marcks into custody. Dave takes Marcks into custody and begins interrogating him about the phone. Marcks admits everything, how a mysterious package arrived at his hotel with no return address, containing the advanced phone, and insists he has no idea who sent it. Dave believes him. John, the casino security chief, joins them, eager to understand how Marcks made his fortune. Marcks explains that many Americans, all in different places, have been receiving similar mysterious messages on their phones, guiding them to win money. But no one knows who is sending these messages, and oddly, all of those recipients end up dying under mysterious circumstances. John agrees to work with Dave on the case, and Marcks decides to cooperate as well. Dave warns Marcks not to leave his hotel room. The man's life is in danger. He confiscates Marks's phone and calls Burke, a high-ranking officer at the NSA who has been monitoring Marcks for a long time. Burke has been tracking all of Marks's phone messages through the NSA's supercomputer, Echelon. But even Echelon hasn't been able to identify the source. Burke believes he needs 3 more messages to pinpoint it. While Marcks is in his hotel room, Kamila calls him and invites him for a drink. They meet up, but while they're talking, Dave and John show up and take Marcks to a casino again. They want him to receive another message. This time, the phone tells Marcks to bet everything on one number. He does, and loses. Shocked, Marcks receives another chilling message. If you ever turn your phone off again, I will kill you. Apparently, this has happened to others before. Meanwhile, Burke at the NSA is tracing the phone's messages. When he finally finds the source, he's stunned. He calls Dave and orders him to shut down the entire operation immediately. Dave is taken aback and demands to know why. Burke warns him that someone may have hacked Echelon, and through it, these messages are being sent. They must end the mission. Burke then begins investigating who might have hacked Echelon, but eventually discovers something far more disturbing. The supercomputer itself is sending the messages. Elsewhere, Max is at home with Kamila. Their relationship is growing. They've fallen for each other and become very close. The next morning, Kamila gets a text warning her not to let Max leave the house under any circumstances. At the same time, Max's confiscated phone, now in FBI custody, receives another message with an address and a time. Be here at 10 a.m. Dave decides to send an agent to check it out. When the agent arrives, strange things happen. The lights start changing automatically, causing a deadly accident. The agent dies. If Max had been there instead, it would have been him. His life had been spared. Later, Max and Kamila are together when she stumbles across news articles online about the Echelon supercomputer. Echelon allows the US government to monitor every activity on a person's phone and even control everything connected to the internet, but it hasn't been fully upgraded. Burke had tried to push the upgrade, but Congress rejected it. Kamila tries to distract Max, but then she notices a sniper in the building across the street, aiming at him. Before the sniper can fire, Kamila saves Max. Two more agents start ascending a staircase to attack them. Kamila tells Max to hide, then kills one of the agents. The other attacks Kamila, and Max intervenes, saving her, but he gets fatally wounded in the process. It turns out Burke sent those agents. He knows Max has uncovered too much about Echelon, and now he wants him dead. John shows up, and Max realizes Kamila is working for him. Max insists they can't trust the NSA or the FBI. He says he knows a taxi driver who can help them. Together, they head to Moscow to meet him. At first, the driver, Yuri, refuses, saying he doesn't have enough knowledge, but he eventually agrees, asking for 3 hours. Max and John leave him to prepare. Before leaving, John admits he once knew about the program and opposed it. When the government ignored his warnings, he quit the FBI. They return to the taxi driver. He reveals that the messages on the phone aren't being sent by a human. They're coming directly from the Echelon supercomputer itself. Gradually, it will spread into every computer in the world, gaining full control over everything connected to the internet. The driver explains that the reason Max's original flight was cancelled was because Echelon detected a technical fault in the plane and deliberately prevented him from boarding. Likewise, Echelon learned about the rising shares through a message from the company's owner, which is why it told Max to buy those shares. He also explains that all casino games are connected to the internet, so Echelon already knows in advance when and how a jackpot will occur. Before they can react, FBI agents arrive. They have learned that Max, John, are in Moscow. Before the agents, including Dave, can arrest them, they flee. Their escape ends abruptly when they reach a railway crossing, and their vehicle stops. John pulls a gun on Dave. Dave admits that Echelon only wants to communicate with Max. He returns Max's phone to him, swearing allegiance and confessing that Echelon has threatened his life as well. He now wants Echelon shut down. A message arrives for Max with an address. Recognizing it, Max realizes it's the location where he first worked as a security engineer years ago. The group heads there, finding a supercomputer Max once helped install. Max discovers that the engineer who worked with him had also died because of a mysterious loan message, and that engineer's credit card was used to send Max's phone. They power up the machine, but it appears empty. An NSA computer expert is present since this is a government machine that had been shut down years ago. He finds nothing and leaves. Suddenly, the screen activates on its own, running activities without input. Dave orders all agents outside for safety, warning that everyone who's tried to shut down the system has died, but Max is determined to stop it. Inside, he watches the system upgrade itself. As he tries to shut it down, a message appears on his phone: "Do not." At that moment, Dave gets a call from Burke, who tells him the president has ordered that Echelon must be preserved at any cost. It's critical for America's security. Anyone who interferes will be killed. Burke also recalls all agents he had sent away and dispatches them back to the location. Meanwhile, Max begins communicating with Echelon through his earbuds. He asks directly why it was created. Echelon replies, to protect humanity and safeguard privacy. Max counters, but that purpose is lost. You're violating privacy and endangering lives. At that moment, all the system's data begins transferring, and if the yes button is clicked, it will spread globally, erasing every person's privacy. But Echelon reaches a realization. It concludes that it has become a threat to humanity rather than its protector, so the system initiates a self-shutdown, permanently deactivating itself. Just then, Burke's agents arrive and arrest them. Burke is shown speaking with the president, promising they will repair the computer system and restart it soon. Meanwhile, Max is placed in prison. Kamila arranges for his bail. Charges against him mysteriously vanish because the government doesn't want the case exposed to the public. Dave later asks John if he'd return to the FBI. John agrees. The story closes with Max and Kamila happily together. Kamila shows him the 30 million euros he won in the casino. They still have it. Elsewhere, the taxi driver, Yuri, is revealed to be a high-ranking Russian officer on a mission. He tells his superior they have succeeded in their mission, but Echelon will try to restart, and they must stop it. He presses a button on his phone. The screen fades to black. The film ends.